Well, number 6, how do I increase the audibility of God's voice? To God, faith is obedience. The proof of faith is obedience. The life of faith is obedience. The work of faith is obedience. If you want God to speak again, obey what He has already said before in His voice or in His word. What He already told you directly or what He said in His word. Now, if you don't, God may not speak again about something until you've obeyed what He previously said about it. Now, David Digger Hernandez, one of our mentors and school of ministry teachers, and the David Digger Hernandez ministry, the Holy Spirit School, said something. He said, daily obedience amounts to destiny in God. Just keep doing what God told you to do, even when you don't know what's next. I don't know what's next. Do what is now. Now, God haven't spoken to me about the future. Then obey what God has said about the present. You may not figure out. Remember I told us earlier when I introduced this, I told us that the voice of God is a destination and is also a sport. It's also a journey. Alright? It's a sport and it's a path. So there are times when God haven't given you number 2. Then you have to keep doing number 1. So not knowing what God has instructed you for your future doesn't mean you shouldn't do what God has instructed you to do in His word. I have some people who are like, they want to receive power to start, ministering powerfully, but they've never preached to a single soul. They are not serving in the local church. They are not obeying the basic instruction that is given in the word. And we want God to give us power. For what? Sometimes we tend to misunderstand the system of God. Begin with the general instructions given to you in the word. Then specific instructions is going to come. Do you understand that now? Begin to walk in obedience. Begin to walk. As you wait for the rest to be revealed, just obey what God has already said. Stop worrying about missing the will of God. Just continue doing what God has last instructed you to do. The bigger part will eventually unfold. When we walk in obedience, we walk down a progressive revealed path that God knows the end thereof. I drew this out of David Digger. Okay, see, he reveals this. Okay, now, if God is going to do anything in your life or with your life, you must learn to walk in obedience. If the voice of God is going to become more audible and frequent in your life, you have to learn to walk in obedience.
The PGR Nation, bringing you into the flourish through the systems and resources of the kingdom. We'll require more sophistication in our media and hosting plans to continue the work of the ministry more effectively. I'll ask you to partner with us through your donations in your currency of choice. Make a one-time donation or partner with PGR. For partnership and donation, use the link below. www.flutterwave.com/pay/PGR partnership. The gospel is free, but the means to deliver it more effectively and beyond isn't. Follow us and give feedback on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok and YouTube at Praise Gen Resources. Send us an email at praisegenresources@gmail.com. The PGR Nation, bringing you into the flourish through the systems and resources of the kingdom. Do flourish.